We are back with the Pelletier family who have been through what I would consider America's worst nightmare for a family. This is Justina. She's with me. One thing I want to correct, she was actually 14 when you first went under the custody of the state of Massachusetts. You experienced 2 birthdays while in captivity, as I would say. Lou, as a father, you fought valiantly for your daughter, and you've come on this show. We've talked before. You've been out there. You know, one of the things that people don't understand, this disrupted your whole family. It disrupted your ability to make a living, your ability to provide for your family. I don't think people understand that it is not only the separation from Justina that you've been through, but the separation from being able to provide, to earn a living.
Governor, thank you again so much for having us. You've been such a champion for us, and we can never thank you enough for what you've done for us.
Absolutely.
This last 16 months, the whole system, the way it's set up, whether it's in Massachusetts or whatever, but you're fighting the state that you're in, and they've got obviously deep pockets, the state of Massachusetts, DCF, but you're also fighting the hospital that's behind them.
Could I point out that the reason they have deep pockets is because their pockets are your pockets. They can continue to reach in them, and that's the sad thing. They have unlimited ability to take money from us. On the other hand, you had limited resources with which to try to fight for Justina.
Right, because you're using, and again, you're fighting the other two-headed Goliath, which was the Boston Children's, which is owned by Harvard. And we all know Harvard's the wealthiest college in the land. And you're just a private citizen using your own sources, using private attorneys, you know, and then between not working, attorneys fighting, going back and forth, in a short period of time, it's amazing how many assets you can go through while you're trying to protect your family. And that's part of the problem with this system. Once they take a child, it's like they go down this Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole that you can never get that child out of. And that's why that needs to change.
See, I think that's what is so disturbing. It's not only that they took her, but they kept her and never really gave an explanation for why Justina was being held in their custody. And all this time, you can't get information. You ask for it. You're told you can't have it. You can't see your daughter. You know, I think most people are just stunned. And they never, ever came up with any reason other than they wanted to sort of test her for what they believed was this all being in her head. That turned out obviously not to be the case.
Yeah, it was all a mad psychiatric experiment. They said we were jeopardizing her safety by not following the Boston Children's protocol, which for Justina was to take her off all her medications because everything that she had in their mind was in her head, which of course, to come up with a diagnosis of somatoform, and one of your Fox friends, Dr. Keith Ablow, came up and said, that takes over a year to diagnose, and it's one of the most nebulous diagnoses there is. And to do it after she arrived 12 hours after a 25-minute interview, they had their own agenda. And that's a sad thing. We know the hospital, as in many hospitals, they have pet projects they like to work on. It happens to be Boston Children's pet project is this psychosomatic illness called somatoform. The director of psychiatry on down, that tends to be their specialty. But bottom line is, they do it because they can.
Justina, when you got home, I'm assuming your sisters were pretty glad to see you, but did you have to start sharing a room again with one of your sisters? Was that?
Yeah.
Was she okay with that?
It's hot pink, but I'm changing it.
All right, we're going to have more with the Pelletiers, and including her sisters. I'm going to give them equal time so they can respond. Justina Pelletier and her wonderful family. More.